So Amsterdam is a place with lots of cultural significance. Like many major European cities, it is a beautiful city with a rich history. But unlike most major European cities, it's got a reputation for making a lot of the taboos not so taboo, if you know what I mean. Now for me specifically, Amsterdam has long been a mythical place. Because some of my favorite music actually comes from there, and my favorite book of all time is based on Amsterdam as well. So, obviously, when the chance to go to such a place presents itself, you're gonna take it. I took the train at like 8 in the morning, and so I rolled up pretty darn groggy. Getting off the train and seeing all of this, it was like, oh my gosh.
This is the train station.
Bro.
You're kidding me.
Like, you walk out of the train station and Amsterdam just smacks you in the face with some of its most beautiful facades.
Bro, are you seeing this?
And across the 10 plus trips I've done in 9 countries, I can say that it's definitely not always this pretty straight off the train station. After dropping off my bags at the hostel and meeting up with my friends, we were off to do a free walking tour.
And they just throw in pineapple.
What struck me the most about the city at first glance was the buildings. Not just how beautiful, narrow, or slanted they famously are, but also how actively different they are from their neighbors. They're kind of funky like that, and I did love that.
1706.
The other thing about this trip is that I, a California girl, learned the true meaning of cold.
Oh, my nose is so red.
Look, I thought I layered sufficiently, but none of my layers were thermal, and I didn't come with a hat, gloves, or scarf. So I literally had to buy the first ones I saw out of pure desperation. If I tell you how cold it was, you're gonna laugh. And so at my expense, it was around 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. But look, we were trying to frolic outside in Amsterdam for like hours on end.
This is supposed to be a small. This is not a small. I think it's that one across the street.
So I started listening to Dutch trance at the age of 13. So it's always kind of been my dream to go experience European EDM in the setting that it was made in and made for. But oh god, looking back at this, I just cringed so hard because I felt so awkward doing this. I mean, okay, even though I do love EDM, and that hasn't changed, I just didn't vibe super well with the set. Plus, I usually listen to this kind of music in private. This is like the sound of me doing my laundry, working out, or learning stoichiometry. Nevertheless, even though I didn't know how to dance in a club, it was an experience I really wanted, and I did appreciate. The next day we headed out and almost got run over by a few bikes, as well as one of these tiny little vehicles. Fortunately, we made a daring escape and finished our journey to one of the biggest and best flea markets I've ever seen in my life. Bro, I mean it when I say I barely caged the magpie in me. But I knew that I didn't want to lug too much stuff back from Paris to the US, and so that's pretty much what stopped me. Looking back at this video though, I honestly do regret not getting more keepsakes, but hey, at least I've got this video, right?
Give me a twirl.
Okay. Yeah. And spin.
Yes. Okay, perfect.
Next, I ducked into a kilo store, partially to get warm, partially to see what's up, and there were some really cute pieces there. And I did end up walking home with a couple of them, so not all was lost.
This is cute. I actually really like this.
Oh man.
Okay, so obviously you can't go on an adventure like this and not try to take a few pictures. So up next, we attempted a little photo shoot. And when I say attempted, I really do mean it because I was so cold. And I also discovered I get red really easily, especially when I'm cold. So I just fully looked like I was crying, but all is well. It's more about the memes anyway. I left the others early because I was too cold to keep taking pictures. Dude, I am so poorly equipped for the cold. It's 36 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 degrees Celsius, and I'm wearing all of this getup. I'm like mildly concerned that my clothes are going to fall off. The other reason I left early was because I wanted to go somewhere special, albeit only to me. We are on our way to our house, Amsterdam, which is an EDM museum. As we wait for the experience to start, here's a quick background on me, because that's what we do on this channel apparently. One of the great constants in my personality is that I do love electronic dance music, and it's been this way since age 13, because that's when I got into A State of Trance, Armin van Buuren's radio station, where he plays the top trance tracks of the moment, and this is precisely where my music taste began to diverge from my peers. Oh, signed by Cheetah. I've always wanted to be quirky and different, and low-key that's still true. And listening to exclusively European EDM as an American teenager was a great way to do just that. But it also meant that nobody would know my favorite songs, or sometimes I'd be embarrassed to ask because I didn't know how people would take my music taste when nobody knew what the songs were. And, you know, to be fair, there's nothing wrong with having a different music taste from your friends. But it did mean that finding other people who were into this music was rare. And conversely, that meant that going to this museum and seeing a bunch of people who were into this music the same way that I was into it was really cool. There was a time in my teens where I was convinced that I would become a DJ producer and be just like Armin van Buuren and Andrew Rayel and all my other heroes. But somewhere throughout the APs and SATs and the rest of high school, I realized that it just felt like this dream was childish. So I was like, well, better nip that one at the bud, I guess. Imagine letting something come between me and being pre-med. Fast forward 5 years and it turns out my pre-med dreams are falling apart anyway because I'm realizing that it's maybe not so worth it to cut out everything I love in life to pursue a dream that I'm not so sure I even wanted anymore.
All these instruments.
Sorry, y'all.
Honestly, I'm glad that I went alone because it gave me a chance to reflect and really be aware of where I was in life now compared to in the past. A lot can change in 7 to 8 years, and I'm really grateful for how things turned out, but over all that time, I've abandoned a lot of my random fun pursuits of childhood in the name of going to college, building a career, and even running a studygram. And at this point in my life, I was struggling to remember what it was like to not be in a creative rut because I'd been in one for so long. But being here and playing with the exhibits reminded me of how it used to feel when I didn't put so much expectation on whatever I created, and I just had fun with it. And as every creative knows, play is where the best work comes from. After dinner at this really cute restaurant, we went on a river cruise to see the light installations, and like much of my experience in Amsterdam in December, it was really pretty, but also really, really cold. And that's pretty much everything we did for day 2. It's the end of my time here. And I have like 15 minutes to try and get some more Polaroids. So, how was Amsterdam? Well, I had a lot of fun. It was a nice little getaway from Paris. But to say that all I got from this was a change in scenery misses a big point. I've noticed that the more I travel and the more that I just spend time on my own or in an unfamiliar place, the more I'm starting to learn about myself. And my God, what a beautiful experience that is. Is that cheesy? Thank you everyone who watched this for taking time out of your day to hear what I have to say and see what I have to show. Hope you have a nice day. Maybe take this as your sign to get off YouTube and go live life. Cause guess what? You deserve it. Okay, bye.